Welcome back to the channel.
At
Tonight's episode is titled Something Lurks at Midnight. It's from an anonymous user. Our writer has asked to remain anonymous for this one, so I'll do my best to protect their identity. Let's jump into it. My husband and I had just moved to a new town, and we were in the process of getting our house ready for sale. We needed to clear out the attic and get it ready to be emptied by the real estate crew. My husband suggested that I go up into the attic, while he finished up his work downstairs. He warned me that the attic was full of cobwebs, and to watch my head on the way up the ladder. Once in the attic, I turned on the overhead light and started pulling down all of the Christmas decorations and boxes of old photos. As I was pulling down these boxes, I noticed what looked like a loose floorboard. I wasn't paying much attention to where I was walking, and before I knew it, the floorboard gave way and I fell through. I remember looking down at this hole and thinking, I am so screwed. I quickly started to climb out, but the walls were slick with moisture, and there was no purchase for my fingers or toes. And when I tried to grab the edge of the hole, my fingers slipped and I fell back down into the darkness. The only sound was my own panicked breathing and the pounding of my heart. Then I felt something brush against my leg, and I screamed and curled up in a ball until my husband came running up the attic steps. He reached down and grabbed my hand and pulled me up and out of the hole. Relief washed over me as I climbed out to safety, and then fear and disgust. I wanted to look down into the hole, but my husband stopped me and said, "Don't even bother looking because whatever it is down there isn't human." I stared at him in disbelief. What did he mean? Was I seriously being gaslit right now? Because I had most definitely fallen through a hole in the floor, and I hadn't fallen onto a person. He helped me down the ladder and I stumbled out onto the attic floor, trying to shake off the experience. But it didn't help. That's when I saw it. It's in the dust on my legs. There were tiny little pebbles mixed in with dirt. And when I brushed them off, I noticed they were little pebbles of what looked like human skin. My skin crawled and I ran to the bathroom to stare at myself in the mirror. All down my legs were little red dots. They looked like bug bites, but they were too small to be that. And none of them were raised or swollen. They were just little red dots, like someone had punched me with a closed fist. And then it hit me. When I fell through the floor, I had landed on someone or something. And when I tried to scramble out, whatever it was, it had reached out and scratched me with its nails. I tried to call 911, but my husband stopped me. He said, "No, they won't believe us. They'll think we're crazy." But I insisted, needed to report this. Even if they thought we were crazy, at least it would be documented somewhere. The scratches weren't enough to require stitches, so the nurse practitioner at the urgent care just cleaned and bandaged them and sent me on my way. The whole time I kept glancing at the clock, waiting for midnight to roll around, so that I could transform into a werewolf and attack my husband. Just kidding, that didn't happen. But I did start experiencing random bouts of dizziness throughout the next few days, along with migraines that wouldn't quit. I still don't know what those were about. At night, though, things got worse. I started having vivid nightmares of being chased through the woods by this big, hairy monster. I'd wake up screaming in the middle of the night, convinced that the monster was in our bedroom with me. Then I'd look over and see my husband sleeping peacefully beside me, and I'd calm down a little. One night, maybe a week after my trip to the urgent care, I woke up again in the middle of the night. I remember sitting up in bed, staring at the wall, listening intently for any noise. And that's when I heard it. There was a loud crash coming from the attic. I immediately bolted upright in bed and started shaking my husband awake. "You have to come hear this," I whispered urgently. "There's something up there." I could tell by the look on his face that he was scared too. Whatever it was, it had to be big because he didn't try to argue with me or tell me I was being crazy. He just got up and followed me to the attic. When we got up there, we found that someone had kicked a hole in the drywall and was peering through. Like someone was on the other side and was trying to look in. But it wasn't any critter I'd seen before. I mean, it was big, but not like a raccoon or an opossum big. It was humanoid, kind of, but not quite. We couldn't figure out what it was, so we went back downstairs. We never went back up into the attic. The real estate team showed up and cleared everything out, including the attic. Didn't hold another party after that. The nightmares stopped soon after we moved out of that house. Now, here's the thing. We've been living in our new house for almost a year now. And last night, I was woken up in the middle of the night by nightmares of that same big, hairy monster. I told my husband about it, and he looked at me like I was crazy. Like I guess he thought I was making it up to get a rise out of him. But I'm telling you that monster is real, and it's not happy that we disturbed it in its home. I'm not sure what it is, but whatever it is, it's coming for me. Do you think our writer encountered a creature in the attic? Let me know your thoughts. I personally hope she finds out what that thing is before it finds her. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I'll see you all next time.